Hello everyone. In today's class, I'm going to explain to you about constant. So what is constant? First, let me explain to you about this word constant. The word constant, the origin of this word constant is Latin, which is constre, and the meaning of this word is stable or stand together. And the dictionary meaning of the word constant is what? A situation that does not change or not changing, something that does not change. And in mathematics or computer science, the meaning of the word constant is what? A fixed or well-defined value or permanent value, unchanged through time or space. When we talk about maths, we have come across with so many constant. Example, let's say if you want to find the area of the circle, we always use the value pi. And the value of the pi, it is a constant value. Either we can write in 22 divided by 7 or 3.14. But the radius of the circle can vary. Suppose we have a small circle, the value of radius is small. But if we have a big circle, the value of the radius will be big. Even though we have a small and a big circle, the value of the radius change, but the value of the pi always remain the same. It never changed. That is 22 by 7 or 3.14. So when we talk about computer science, therefore constant can be defined as a fixed value given a name to help in readable of source code, or we can also define as a constant is a name or symbol that is given to any unchanged value or a permanent value. So now how we will declare the constant in the C program. So we have the syntax that we need to remember and we need to follow. First and foremost, to declare a constant, we have to use the word const or the keyword const. C-O-N-S-T. This indicates that the value is a constant value. After the keyword const, followed by the data type or the type of data that particular value will hold. Then we have to specify the name of the constant, and last but not the least, we have to provide the value that the constant will hold. So let's see the example. Suppose in your program you have to calculate the area of the circle, and we know the area of the circle is pi r square, the formula. So how you will do in program, we need the value of the radius and we need to specify the value of the pi. So I declare in r stands for radius. That means I want to input the value of the radius in the variable r. But now to make this constant pi as a constant value in the C program, how we declare? Like I mentioned from the syntax, first we require the word const or the keyword const. So therefore I specified or I used the keyword const. Because pi, the value of pi is a decimal value, that is 3.14. Therefore I use the data type float. And the name of my constant is what? Pi. And I provide the value that is 3.14. So let me read it out again. To specify the pi as constant in my C program, I use what? To declare it, first the keyword const, followed by the data type float. Why? Because the value is decimal value. Followed by the name pi, and I assign the constant value that is 3.14. So over here when we talk about the name of the constant, just like variable, remember we have to follow the same rule. That is, the name of the constant should start with alphabets or underscore, not with number. Then we cannot use any special character except the underscore. And we cannot use any keyword as the name of the constant. Like I mentioned, why we cannot use the name of any keywords or any keywords as the name of the constant? Because these keywords or these word is all they are already have the meaning. So whenever we require to do that specific thing, then only we can use the keyword, but we cannot give the keyword as the name of the constant or the name of the variable. So again, back when we talk about this example, the moment you mention const, that means this value will not change. And the moment you specify the data type float, automatically it will reserve the space in the computer memory, and we know float, it will take 32 bits or 4 bytes in the computer memory. And this 4 bytes, it will take how much? And the name will be pi. So next, like I mentioned in the previous class, the first 8 bits, it will be for the sign. That means whether this value, it's a positive value or negative. If it is a positive value, then it get indicated by 0. But if it is minus 3.14, a negative value, then for negative value, it get indicated by 1. Then next, in the 8 bits portion, the value 3, that means the value before decimal point will get stored in the second 8 bits. And then 0.14, or the value after the decimal point, will get stored in the 33 bits. So let's say, for example, to understand better, we have a program and we need to display our name and class. So over here in my program, I declare class, okay, in class. Why not making class as constant? Because our class can change from one year to another. This year may be 9, next year may be 10. But over here, the name, I make it constant. Like we know, it is practical, our name never change. Therefore, the name I make it constant. For example, over here the name is John. So what I did to declare this name as a constant value, I mentioned we have to use what? The keyword const. And then I have to input the character. Therefore, my data type after that it is char. And the name of my variable I give NA. And over here I specified that I'm going to take 10 characters, or my name, it include 10 characters. Therefore, I mentioned the size will be 10. And then I assign the value over here. Example, I mentioned John. That means it take how many character? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this name will get stored in 4 bytes in the memory. Like I mentioned, the moment you declare, it take how many bytes? Because I specified 10, therefore it will take 10 bytes in the computer memory. For example, this name over here, it will be JOHN. And remember, in 1 byte, it will be how many bits? 8 bits. So this value J will get converted to binary digit and it will get stored in the 8 bits or 1 byte. Just like in variable, same thing for the constant. So let's see what is the difference between variables and constant. When we talk variables and constant, both are the same. Variable is the name that we give to a memory location where the value inside it can be changed. But the only difference with constant is what? Is the name given to a memory location, but the value inside it cannot be change. That is the only difference. Both are the name that we provide in the computer memory, but the only difference is variable. The value in the variable can be changed, but the value in the constant cannot be changed. And in the syntax, or in this example, I mentioned in A, the value of A you can input as 5, 15, 100, or any integer value. But for constant, the moment you mention it will be a constant value, the value of A you assign 5, and this value will remain 5 whenever you execute your program. So hope you understand what is constant.